you're not prepared for that conversation and having to let someone potentially down gently, it's often a difficult one to have, and some managers are better at that than others, depending on your sort of style in communication and your skill set. So to have a confronting conversation with someone that may have a higher expectation of themselves or a perception of themselves is often a difficult one to have. Probably on the other side of that is some organisations may not have all the information, and they may not be, totally across all of the different, I guess, criteria around a salary increase. So to be representing the company in a confrontational conversation when you don't have all the answers is never a position that any manager would want to be in.
A really good manager will take the time to understand the market, the movement in the market, pay relativity, have done maybe some benchmarking on roles, understood the internal relativity for the role that they're speaking to the person about, just feel uncomfortable. Generally, it's one of those areas where it pays to know about CPI, interest rates, wages increases, and to have a comfort level around the commerciality of having a conversation about that money and about market relativity. So when you're uninformed, it's very difficult to have a conversation about a subject that's difficult on both sides of the equation without having the knowledge base upon which to guide and steer your conversation. So there is the discomfort level, and I think it is definitely compounded by the fact that managers are not prepared for those conversations because they really haven't taken the time to understand how they would position that.
Yeah, I think it's around honesty and transparency. It's got to come from a good place, and I think any manager needs to understand what that process is in depth to begin with. They need to seek out whoever it is, people and culture, or HR, to understand the process of what it is, so that when they have a conversation, they've got confidence around it. But then also be very transparent around context. And I think context is a really important part of having a difficult conversation, is providing the reasons why rather than just saying what it is.
Well, we have complete transparency over our salary policy because I don't believe there's any other way. They're communicated at this time of the year because we are going into salary review. Like most businesses, we're coming up to the pointy end of the financial year. It's mostly absolutely through investing in building the capability of line management to have quality conversations with people, to be able to take very seriously the conversations that they do, not just at this time of the year, but all the way through, the 12-month people cycle.
When we come around to the salary and promotion periods, which is 2 times in a year, we try to hold all staff meetings that go through that process again in a really, really candid kind of black and white way. But we make sure that everyone walks out of that session understanding exactly how it works and how they can influence that process.